Hello, I'm Robert-Lomax. Like you, I am a multidimensional soul. Parts of my soul, amongst others, are Andromedan Antipodes and Arcturian Orlacka. They're able to speak within me, show me diagrams, metaphorical concepts, as well as viewing the dimensional reality. They've helped me reduce my sense of self so that the thoughts between us are more fluid. But that's another story that I've explained before. There's been a little misunderstanding about some of the upcoming changes in the next few weeks, 23rd of July perhaps to the 26th of July. This is not the transformation and ascension, whilst it is a big change to our programming. Today, Orlacka is talking about fifth density consciousness upgrades in a different way. Subconscious programs, mostly fear and judgment, are being released from their current use in an interactive package in our consciousness. This will enable more congruent thought processing to be assimilated, what are currently described as upgrades. These thought patterns and feelings have vibrations that become harmonies. New vibrations, as you would call them. But they will become very powerful through resonance. As an analogy, when two or more people sing the same note, its collective resonant power is accentuated. I'm sure you've all heard this when you've been singing or mentioning the same tune to one another. So, energy and vibration that comes with information to change our emotional thought processing. Let's hear Orlacka's perspective on this upgrading. Hello, I'm using Robert's voice, but these are my words and the energy I wish to share with you. Let me take a moment to explain further what we mean by emotional regulation. Not many are focusing on what the changing energies will do on an emotional level. Much is being said about uplift and energies and the lifting of veils. To an extent, you might say, do you need to know the catalyst or the process behind this? But understanding the process does help with a relaxed acceptance and a welcome of the changes. If you can be aware of the mechanics, it cuts away uncertainty. So here goes. You are all aware of how duality works and how it has a hold within your subconscious programs. But are you fully aware of how your minds are controlled and manipulated by negative forces? Indeed, are your thoughts really yours? Take, for example, the desire to evolve or become more enlightened. It is good. Yes, you are likely to say, for this is an answer that's been pre-programmed in your collective consciousness that you attach to. Everyone says this is the best way because it's a way to escape and evolve. A part truth that has also been manipulated. Enlightenment manipulated. Big statements, you may say. So how do I back them up? Well, consider the length of time that the regressives have been involved with your world and the technology they have. They are not stupid. To the contrary, they are masters of deception. And there is very little in your Earth collective consciousness that has not been manipulated, even the idea that you are free. Take a moment for the penny to drop. You have heard what I have said before, but because you are entwined with the manipulated program, it sweeps you along. It stimulates and engages your pleasure and pain receptors. At times you may say you wish pain to stop. It is a thought, and you think it is a good thought. Of course, one needs to be in pain in order to be free from it, and there you have your duality. But when the pain stops, it appears as a pleasure. But you fail to see it's the relief from pain, which is not the same thing as pleasure. Your thought processes have been manipulated to maintain pain. When you see that, it's in plain sight. It's a manipulation. Can you hear more pennies dropping? Can you accept the fullness of your holographic experience that you think is a reality? Not easy, but it is safe to accept that. You don't need to ignore it, but at the same time, you don't need to focus on it. Just understand that you are not who you think you are. Furthermore, as I say, are your thoughts truly yours? Do you pull them from Earth collective consciousness? Are they pure human thoughts, or ones that have been manipulated? Even the idea of your freedom is constrained, but you are breaking free from rigid belief systems that keep the world discordant. How else could loving beings end up in fear, distrust one another, cause injury and pain to each other, unless and only unless their innate way of being was manipulated? Spiritual enlightenment has been controlled like your subconscious programs. Growth and improvement translate to betterment or movement from a low value to a high value. If constant movement or development is a good attribute, it always means you are moving from a lower state to a better one. However, in the subconscious, the outcome of that is whatever you achieve is never good enough, because there has to be a constant more in order to achieve more. In essence, in that way, you are not good enough. Perpetual improvement doesn't give you your desired outcome. So, self-criticism can reinforce this feeling, the feeling of not good enough. This is a program to find fault so that you can overcome failings within yourself. Religions may say, observe your shortcomings in order that you may alter them. But this means you are tricked into believing that criticism means enlightenment. This is not so, for several reasons. Criticism never created change for the better, only the illusion of improvement. The natural drive against entropy towards light, love, and understanding will happen regardless of criticism. You don't need to condemn, or denigrate yourself to grow. You superimpose upon your evolution the idea that you do. Furthermore, excuse me. Furthermore, when you believe you are not good enough, it gives some of you false humility. Those believe that they are restricting the ego, which is a religious principle and the ideal opportunity for growth. But every single one of these thoughts or ideals are relative judgments based in not good enough. It is society telling you that this is the way, constantly seeking betterment to constantly believe you are not good enough. The vast majority of your subconscious programs, thoughts and emotions have been manipulated. Defend, attack, protect, live in fear. Fear will keep you safe because you constantly try to avoid it wherever it exists in all areas of your life. Even the fear that you are unlovable or not truly good enough stops you from failing because you accept you are a failure. Duality. You can't be abundant in self-love because the corrupted programs tell you that at every turning. They tell you that message. You might think that to observe, not good enough, means you can improve. But it's a false promise in a manipulated program. Feel and see the pennies are falling like rain. The rain itself is falling down, refreshing, changing. This rain is holographic, energetic programs. If you want to envisage it, think of Leo in the Matrix. The codes just falling down. The awareness is that they are just codes. They are not you. You believe that you are the codes. Some are aware of this. Many are aware of this. But the next phase is different. Let's take autonomy. As you come out of this enforced sleepwalking and programming, you begin to see it for what it is. You see manipulation of government and media, lies all around you. Do not be afraid to see the reality of your world, because that will mean it no longer has any control over you. You can step into your own personal autonomy and freedom. Gives an awareness. Observation of the world and yourself will no longer be viewed through criticizing yourself. You will see the reasons and exceed the need to forgive yourselves. Importantly, you will see that this way of being was imposed upon you by regressive and manipulated control mechanisms. Your fundamental nature is that you are a being full of love, compassion, and understanding. So, I'm going to give you a synopsis of the huge changes that are happening this year. An upgrade of your emotional body, which will lead to a massive reduction of run-repeat messages from the subconscious. loosening of the dictates of duality, growing awareness of why you feel and think what you do. You will have personal stability and a greater sense of inner peace, an ability to see and understand more as feelings regulate themselves because they're not dictated to. And this will mean changes in your perspective, how you understand yourself and the world around you. Really, from the lifting veils on a life once masked by old patterns. The ability to see hidden truths and feel the untruths. Acceptance of the scale of government lies and manipulation. You will be able to see things without your old fears in the subconscious. Imagine that. Perceiving them without fear just is. Relationships will begin to have gentle and deeper meanings, though the unhelpful ones will fall by the wayside. You will no longer need to ignore information. You become aware of the monetary structures that have no hold over you. An acceptance that true change in society comes from the way that society thinks and the way that you process information. For that's what this message is all about. Processing information and understanding information in order that you live in a different way. So divides will become deeper. Some will hold old ways, enhancing mental struggles for them. Conflicts will become more extreme. But they do not need to trigger your fear and old emotional reactions. You will just see them as part of the process, knowing that you are safe and that fear is an interpretation. It is a program that's been manipulated. Fear is something that doesn't exist in you as a soul being. As an experience, yes. But how long do you need to hold to that experience? Particularly if you are told to hold to that experience. And through this process, there will be an awareness of what we would call just is. An increase in psychic awareness. An ability to know more. Information appears in your mind. It enhances your sense of stability, of peace and belonging. The good news is it is now inevitable. You are coming home. You have been lost for a long while. We and others, alongside your soul counterparts, welcome you back. Live in love and joy and understanding. We will meet you in your minds and hearts, for we are there and we can communicate with you on those levels if you only allow yourselves to speak to us. And one day soon, we will rejoice as we visit your world in person. I have said before, love is a human construct. It is a human word full of different connotations based in needs, based in fears, based in all of your programs. Your very language reflects the way that you are programmed and the way that you think. So instead of saying that I leave you with my love, I will say, let our hearts sing as one.